Hey folks, David Stewart here. It's time to make some ice cream. Some gluten-free, actually, cookies and cream ice cream, homemade ice cream. This is for people who want a delicious, high-calorie, this is not a health food here, high-quality ice cream, going to taste better than the store-bought stuff, or people who want to have gluten-free cookies and cream because you can't really get that at the store. You got to start with gluten-free Oreos, okay? Or this is for people who just want their ice cream to taste better than the store ice cream or to have fewer ingredients. If you don't want a bunch of random weird preservatives and stabilizers in your ice cream, you just want the real deal, this is for you. Of course, there's more ingredients to the Oreos because they're gluten-free Oreos, but anyway, it's still all about simplicity. You only need the ingredients that are right here. 2 cups of heavy cream, heavy whipping cream, to 1 cup of milk, whole milk. I guess you could use non-fat, but I don't know why you would. And I guess you could use like some other kind of whipping cream, but this is about making good ice cream. So 2-to-1 proportion, that's the best proportion I found of heavy whipping cream to whole milk. 1 cup of sugar. You don't need to like melt the sugar in the milk ahead of time. Just put it right in there and blend it up. And 6 double stuffed Oreo cookies along with 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Then you will need a blender to blend the mixture up, and you will need an ice cream maker. This is the ice cream maker that I recommend. I do not have the cylinder in it. It uses a cylinder that's in the freezer right now that's really cold, and you pour it in the top and it spins around. It's by Cuisinart, and it makes about 1.5 quarts of ice cream, and so this recipe is made to go in the 1.5 quart ice cream cylinder that you get with a standard Cuisinart ice cream maker. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get to mixing up all of our delicious ingredients, and then we'll pour it in the ice cream maker and make some delicious gluten-free cookies and cream ice cream. Okay, so this is a very easy set of proportions. It's 2 heavy whipping cream, 1 milk, 1 cup of sugar. Pretty easy. So let's go ahead and start with the heavy whipping cream. I like to do the heavy whipping cream first because I find that the milk tends to wash out whatever residue is kind of left. See how it coats the inside of your measuring cup? If you put the milk in, that tends to wash out whatever's left of that wonderful fat that's in the cream. Next, we'll do 1 cup of whole milk. 1 cup of whole milk. It's okay to be off by a little bit here or there. It's not like critical that it be completely precise. Just 2-to-1 proportion and you're probably going to be good to go. Next is 1 cup of granulated white sugar. Oh baby. Okay, we want 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. I'm sorry, 2 teaspoons of this. So if you get a little extra, no big deal, okay? Next, we're just gonna blend that up before we put it in the ice cream maker. All right, here we go. Just want to blend it up till it's good and frothy. That's probably good. Okay, now it's time to turn the cream into ice cream. This is the frozen cylinder that works with this Cuisinart. You put this in the freezer for a couple of days, a day or 2. Mine usually freezes in a day till it's completely frozen. This will spin, and then you have a paddle that goes in there that will churn the ice cream. So it's actually a pretty cool system and stops you from having to do any kind of weird stuff with salt or something like that. You just do it all with this thing right here. And I do recommend a spoon to get all of that creamy goodness out of there. All right, here we go. Just put the cream in like this, right into the top. And it'll start freezing and turning into ice cream. You're gonna let this run for about 10 minutes, and then at the end of 10 minutes, you're gonna put the cookies in. So while that's running, we're gonna go ahead and chop up our Oreo cookies and get them ready to go into the cookies and cream ice cream here. Let's see if we can get as much of that in there as possible, because boy, it's going to taste good. All right, time to chop up our cookies. I'm going to use a chef's knife because that's going to make the chopping them up really fine a lot easier. A good sharp chef's knife will do a lot of work for you. All I do is cut them into little slices, and don't worry about it breaking up because the whole point is to basically get it into crumbs. You could also do this, I guess, by hammering them or something like that in a bag. I've seen that, but I find that this makes a little bit better chopped up cookie. So we're just going to chop up all 6 of those cookies while the ice cream maker is going to get some nice small pieces. And just cut them a couple times like that. Then you can turn it, and it's just, I don't know, it's kind of like chopping up anything, chopping up vegetables, only you're chopping up Oreos. Okay, once you have most of these chopped up into small bits, then you can start to really chop them up fine. I just rock my chef's knife through the giant pile of Oreos and get it cut up really small. Because what you want is, you don't want giant chunks of Oreo cookie in there. You want lots of little crumbs. That's what gives it the good cookies flavor. And we're not going to add it till the very end so the cookies won't get too soggy in that cold cream. You really want to, if you're going to add something to ice cream like this, small chunks of stuff, you really want to add it towards the end of when it's close to freezing. So I run it for about 10 minutes. Then I'll add this in and run it for another few minutes, 3 or 4, maybe 5 minutes, depending on how long it's taking for it to completely freeze up. And then it's pretty much good to go. You can pour it into a container, save it for later, eat it right there. If you eat the ice cream fresh out of the ice cream maker, it's going to have kind of a soft serve consistency. And if you are eating the ice cream later, it's going to have more like a store-bought consistency, a little firmer. I like it both ways. So there you go. You can make one batch and keep it for a pretty good long time in the freezer before it starts to get too icy. It has no stabilizers or preservatives, so it's going to ice up a lot more than your store-bought ice cream. Okay, back here at the ice cream maker, you can see that the consistency of the ice cream is beginning to get a little firmer. It's not really churning exactly like ice cream, but it will in just a few minutes, and that's when we're going to add the Oreo cookies. I'll notice when there's a little bit of a gap between the spinning cylinder and this, that it's starting to get more of an ice cream consistency. We're not there yet. It's still pretty liquidy. But you can always taste it and see how it's working. Tastes pretty good. All right, now it's starting to get really good and creamy and churned. When I can see it starting to firm up in the middle, there gets this crease as it's churning. Then I know we're getting really close to adding in the Oreo cookies. All right, it's Oreo cookie time. Let's just add it in there. If you wait too long to put it in, it's not going to mix in real good. It'll kind of float on the top. So you want to kind of add a handful at a time. And if it's not mixing super, super good, you can just kind of push it around in there. But this is pretty much just the right point to add in the Oreo cookies. And then another handful. And then we'll do the crumbs last. Hi, Roan. Making the ice cream. Oh, baby's up? Oh, good. She might need to sample the ice cream, huh? Okay, we've been going for about 13 minutes now, and it's starting to get really thick and creamy. Do you need a sample? No? Okay. We'll wait another minute or two. I think the ice cream's just about there, so what we're going to do to get the ice cream out of there is we're going to put it in a pre-chilled pan. You don't have to pre-chill it, but I hope it'll help. All right, this part can get just a little bit messy. If we've done this right, this will come off as like a big, huge old chunk. I have to get that off, and then we got to get that into there. So I'm just going to use a big old spoon to do that. You can eat this right now. It tastes really, really good just the way it is. Or you can freeze it and eat it later, and it'll have a little bit more like a store-bought ice cream or like Baskin Robbins, like professional ice cream texture. I don't like to hold the cylinder because it is so cold it'll freeze your fingers. So I like to avoid holding it as much as possible to give my fingers a little bit of a break. Okay, if you feel like you need to get every last little bit of ice cream out of here, just call your kids and say, come get some ice cream off the ice cream paddle, and they will come and eat the ice cream. And there it is. And put that in the freezer and enjoy it later.